US expands unprecedented global sanctions on Russia with over 300 new targets. The Treasury Department announced Friday that the US is strengthening the unprecedented global sanctions and other restrictive economic matters on Russia in coordination with the G7 and other international partners. The announcement, titled "With Over 300 Sanctions, US Targets Russian Circumvention and Evasion, Military Industrial Supply Chains, and Future energy revenues." The announcement explained that the U.S. Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control, or OFAC, is implementing new commitments made at the G7 Leaders Summit to hold Russia accountable for its war, elaborating. The OFAC's sanctions on 22 individuals and 104 entities with touch points in more than 20 countries or jurisdictions, targeting those attempting to circumvent or evade sanctions and other economic measures against Russia. The channels Russia uses to acquire critical technology, its future energy extraction capabilities, and Russia's financial services sector. Additionally, OFAC is expanding sanctions authorities to target new sectors of Russia's economy and sever Russia's access to new categories of services. Russian President Vladimir Putin stated on Friday, just hours before the US and other G7 countries announced additional sanctions on Russia, that additional sanctions on his country would only serve to enhance unity within the nation. We're seeing just how aggressive the external pressure now being exerted on Russia is on our entire society. Almost the entire arsenal is directed against us: economic, military, political, informational forces, and the most powerful anti-Russian propaganda is being deployed. In April, Putin said the policies pursued by Western nations do not serve the best interest of their own people and will ultimately backfire on them. His press secretary, Dmitry Peskov, stated in the same month that sanctions against Russia will hit the global economy hard, warning that it can only lead us down a path towards a global economic crisis. We see United States, in coordination with G7 leaders, coming together at the summit and announcing additional sanctions on Russia. While they can't participate in our paper money system, don't forget the Russians control a lot of commodities. And what do people use paper to buy? Commodities. So at the end of the day, these sanctions don't mean a lot when the whole world is feeling the pain of these economic sanctions. It's almost hurting the whole world as much as it's hurting Russia. We see that in Germany. We see that with France. Nobody's happy. However, everyone's playing along with the current world superpower. You can't hurt Russia without hurting yourself. You're essentially raising the price on your people, who's in turn getting mad at the government. It's a vicious cycle.